My bold prediction is I think the Empire will lose to the Rebellion.
Oh my God. Let me throw out my bold prediction because it hit me when I was watching Rogue One in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And it is very simple. Cassian doesn't die on the beaches of Scarif. And the reason I'm throwing this out there, and again, this is bold prediction, right? It's supposed to be bold. Is that this show in its 2 seasons, which, 5 years before, and then I believe the second season will go directly or closely into Rogue One. I believe we've already seen a character who is going to be important in Cassian's life and will somehow, I don't know how, I don't know the specific, will somehow be on Scarif at the right moment, at the right time, and be able to save Cassian. Maybe Jin. Don't know.
Who is this character?
No idea.
No, but it saves him.
I have no idea.
One of these characters.
It could be Skarsgård. It could be
It's B.
It could be B2 Emo. Like it could be any of them.
I'm really worried about B because obviously he has K2SO in
Yeah.
Rogue One, and so it's like, why doesn't he have B with him?
Why it
B
could be that
B
B2
is
Emo
dead.
takes over K2SO or liberates him or something.
But
And
then
also,
he would die.
doesn't B2 Emo technically belong to Marva?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
But he's loyal to Cassian.
It's true. But that's because Marva is loyal to Cassian.
He's seen the lad grow up.
The lad.
The lad. That's an interesting bold prediction. My bold prediction is I think the Empire will lose to the Rebellion.
Well, you know what?
I'm just getting shades of that
Christian's bold prediction is Cassian is Sauron.
Oh, that's a good one. Actually, no, we're not going to divert right now. Bold predictions. I mean, it's interesting because Alan Tudyk is been cast in this show, and it says right on the IMDb he is K2SO, so we know we're getting K2SO.
Well, there are some reports because that was the initial announcement years ago, but we don't know. The
It
last
says it right here.
Yeah, the
It
last
says it right here.
The last interview. IMDb is notoriously false sometimes.
Well, this was on Google.
You just said it was IMDb.
Accurate.
Christian, your mind up.
Christian clearly doesn't know how to
No,
cite his
Chris is
sources.
actually on a Wikipedia page that he just wrote.
And I think the last interview Alan Tudyk did was he wasn't going to be in this first season at least, so he might be closer to like season 2, especially if that's closer to Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
So he might not be in this first season at all.
I think he will be. That's my bold prediction then. He will be. And the reason he said that was he's pulling a Vision or, Paul Bettany, just misdirection everywhere. But he's going to show up as a killing machine Terminator. So he's going to be teamed up with Cyril. I think he'll be Cyril's droid, and they'll be hunting Cassian all over the galaxy. And they'll be enemies before they become friends.
I kind of like that. Actually, that makes sense. Like, especially if, let's say Cyril does rise up in the ranks of the rebellion. Yeah, it would be kind of interesting. He goes because Cyril is clearly mad at Cassian at the end of this, or at the very least, he's pinpointing everything.
Slightly peeved off.
Yeah, just a little bit pissed.
Yeah.
Even though it's all Cyril's fault, and Cyril just can't take orders.
Stupid Cyril.
Yeah, dumb Cyril. The corporation.
Cyril.
A corporation.
June, do you have a bold prediction that could top either one of these already fantastic predictions?
We will get a Star Wars movie. No, my bold prediction is going to be we won't see any Jedi or Force users in this show
At all.
at all.
Zilch.
Zero. We'll get the first live action Star Wars thing without a lightsaber showing
With a
up, a Force user, anything.
Nothing.
I think the
Will
closest,
we get a mention?
I think we'll get some type of mention to it for probably, but my guess is we won't see it at all.
I have a question. My hand is raised, sir.
Go ahead.
What about this little thing called Hayden Christensen and Darth Vader?
What's his contract?
I don't know what his contract
I don't think
is.
we'll see him in this.
You don't think we'll see a Vader or a...
No,
How many appearances is he
No.
scheduled for?
no. Because
Wow, that's actually pretty bold.
the reason I say that is because the creators of the show have obviously been doing a lot of press and talking about the show, and they specifically talked about how they wanted to make this show just like its own thing, and that their edict wasn't like stuff in a bunch of Easter eggs or like do this, this, and this. In fact, it seemed like the edict was to not do that. Was like you don't have to do any of this stuff, and I just the way I see this story going. It unless it was fan service, unless it was like let's stuff in like we need this type of thing. Let's go with that. Let's go with Jedi showing up, and the only one that makes sense, like you said, is Darth Vader. And this just seems so low level in terms of like what we're dealing with in terms of with the Empire.
Can we add on
such.
to your
That I can't see them.
Yeah,
showing
I
up.
feel like there's an addendum here.
Well, I think
'Cause,
also I guess the other question there was like I can see that, but then what about all the other characters that we know are like so we know at the period that we're in with the first season of Andor, we know that the Ghost, we know that an Ezra, we know that a Kanan, an Ahsoka, we know that these characters are running around and they're doing their thing. We know that there's a Thrawn out there doing his thing.
Well, he's not a Force user.
I know he's not a Force user, but I'm talking like other well-established characters. Do you think they're going to show up?
I don't think any
completely new cast.
I think this is just going to be completely its own thing. I don't think it's going to be connected to any other stuff.
Ahsoka.
I mean, it's easy. I think you can easily connect it.
Mhm.
But I just think from the way that the creators have talked about, and very easily they could be
Could be
lying.
misdirection.
And misdirection. Yep. But from what I've seen with these first 3 episodes, I think this is going to be its complete own thing.